Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Entertainment only, tarot reader throwing some cards on a dining table down under. News has just come out that's been a 7.6 earthquake off the coast of the Philippines, so just please be aware there is a tsunami warning for various areas around the Pacific, especially for let's have a look, for Hawaii, and I'm just having a look, the Filipino, Indonesian and Palau coast. So please take care. That warning's just come out. Also wanted to mention in my progress of videos today, so many topics, so little time, a lot of the top economists, you know the word, economists of the reserve banks, etc. around the world have come out publicly today and warned of the growing risk of the AI bubble. Just be aware that they are warning that it'll be along the lines of the dot-com bubble. We remember that from 1999, early 200s, something along those lines, that absolutely trashed the stock market. So the Bank of England, the Australian Reserve Bank, has also come out and warned about sudden corrections as the valuations of AI tech companies are massively outpacing and out exceeding their actual physical, what they can, the valuations are way too high for the actual value of the companies. It's a bit like the Orange Twerps Untruth Social. I think the shares sit at, $20-something. I haven't looked for a long time in regards to that. But economists have come out and said they're basically worth about 2 cents because once the Orange Twerp is gone, they're absolutely valueless, and it will be a bubble that pops as well. So just be aware, probably wouldn't hurt to check where your shares for your retirement funds, etc. are sitting, and if you feel the instinct to move them, perhaps from growth to conservative or something along those lines, then just take steps to do so. I am not giving financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not trained. I'm just giving a little heads up for you guys to be aware. Now, what do I want to have an actual look at in this particular reading? Oh, goodness me, it's hot. I've got the windows and doors shut because it's absolutely howling a gale outside. We have a severe wind warning for 5 states in Australia at the moment, and that's practically all of Australia. There's only 5 states and 2 territories. There's only 7 of us. Seven of us. And the fact that there's severe weather warning for 5 of the states and territories means that, tie your trampoline down. Okay, what do I want to actually have a look at? I want to have a look at, and I'm going to use my mystical manga cards. Someone brought it to my attention in regards to the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan, he was the chief prosecutor of Netanyahu and where Netanyahu was found guilty of war crimes and pronounced a war criminal who could be arrested if he steps into any country that honours the ICC. Sadly, some that do recognise the ICC chose not to arrest these people, but and that's why Putin's also been found guilty of war crimes, but the US doesn't acknowledge the existence of the ICC either. Now, the ICC, I'm just going to point out, the International Criminal Court, its role is that if charges for crimes, international crimes like war crimes, is not brought by the country in question, then they have the ability to step in and prosecute. They did so after Nazi Germany. I don't quite know why Germany didn't bring the crimes. It may be because Germany was so broken up and dispersed that they just simply didn't have the ability. But so the US was part of the International Criminal Court for quite a number of decades. However, with the invasion of Iraq, with the weapons of mass destruction fiasco brought about by Bush, um, Bush removed the United States from the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Does not mean that they can't be prosecuted. Rubio, I hope you're watching. Hegseth, I hope you're watching in regards to these Venezuelans and Colombian boats. Apparently they've boomed up one that Colombia has come out and said, well, actually that was one of our boats and they were just innocent people. Now, there's no reason for Colombia to say that if it wasn't true. So the ICC can still prosecute these people, including the Orange Twerp. Now, the Orange Twerp sadly won't face the consequences of it because he just simply won't live long enough. But Rubio and Hegseth are a bit younger. So anyhow, getting back on the tale, Bush removed the US from the ICC due to can I just say potential war crimes, allegedly entertainment only, that were undertaken, oh, that was my phone beeping, that was undertaken during the Iraq War, and I'm looking at you, whatever. You know that jail where they were waterboarding and there were photos taken of stacked up naked prisoners with shackles and bags over their heads and all sorts of things. Yeah, that was why Bush, oh gosh, you know the one I'm talking about. Oh, I can't even remember what's happened this week. It's just been so crazy. Yeah. So yeah, the moon secret's coming out. Um, okay. Yeah, it was the secrets. They didn't want Bush removed because he was trying to set up boundaries and defending both himself, his administration, and those that took part in what could be considered international war crimes. Okay, so what am I having a look at here? I'm having a look at the ICC Chief Prosecutor who's been stood aside. He's not been tossed out or anything like that. Karim Khan. He successfully prosecuted Netanyahu in a case of war crimes back in 2024. Now, within a week of that prosecution, that ruling coming down, Karim Khan was accused of sexual misconduct by a staffer within the week. Now, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with this reading because I don't like to disbelieve women when they're bringing these accusations and charges, but something just feels off in regards to this, especially the timing, but something feels off. So a ex-staff has come forward and accused him of sexual misconduct, basically saying that he asked them to work from his home and he was making untoward advances and touching and stuff. It was just, if it's true, it's absolutely ghastly. All right, that was being investigated by the UN. It hasn't come to a conclusion as of yet. Now, in the last few days, a second woman, August, last couple of months, a second woman has come forward and claimed, without knowing the details of the first woman, has come out and basically claimed practically identical accusations, almost to the letter, almost to the word. Now, what's happened is the lawyer for Khan has come out and provided apparently to the UN Investigation Committee detailed evidence that is firmly at odds with the allegations and physically shows that the allegations are untrue. Now, I don't quite know what that information is. I haven't gone too far into it, but I actually want to have a look at this because it just seems very odd that within days of a successful prosecution of Netanyahu by the ICC declaring him a war criminal, that this accusation was made. And they are about accusations about apparently events that took place 15, 20 years earlier. Yeah, there's Bindi. Bindi trying to work out a cool spot. It'll be cool in a minute, Boo. When I finished, I'll open the doors back up again, let the breeze through. So, my question is, are these accusations true? Are these accusations brought by these two women, are they true accusations? Tell me what we need to know about what is behind the accusations. I'm just going to ask what is behind. I mean, if they're true, the cards will show me they're true. If they're fabricated, they'll show me they're fabricated. I have no skin in the game either way. But it feels, my initial feel, and I'm not always right, I'm just going to put out there, absolutely not always right. Nothing's set in stone either. But my initial feel was that it was to try and discredit Khan to get the prosecution overturned. Okay, I've stopped shuffling. Let's have a look. As I said, using the mystical manga cards. I don't have the box. I just have them in a little mesh bag. What is behind these accusations? Look it up. Yeah, using the skirting board as a pillow. Why not? Okay, the World card. Trying to bring something to an end, bringing something to a close. I mean, it is feminine energy as well. A female on the world stage. But let's see where this goes. The World card, bringing something to an end. Right, the challenge being the Queen of Wands, the female bringing forward a information, a message. So this might simply be on the world stage because it is being investigated by the UN, trying to bring this to a close. And the challenge is we've now got a second woman coming forward with pretty much the exact same information. Right, what is behind it? Ten of Swords, to bring somebody down. Could be swords of truth that will bring him down, or it could simply be one sword after another bringing down. So this is the energy that those that are making the accusation are stewing in. They could also feel like they've been stabbed in the back as well. Okay. In the past, secrets. So what's behind these accusations? Thigh deep in the swamp, trying to keep something secret that gets revealed in the past. Crowning this reading, the Empress. Russian energy, Kremlin energy. Now, I'm just going to say I will have a look at the peace deal, but I've always been getting that the initial attack orchestrated between these entities. Do not ever forget that the music festival was moved at the last minute from deep within Israel to being right on the border and extended by a day at the last minute, and it was on that extended day that the attack happened. Now, if somebody didn't have, these attacks don't happen overnight, like the planning does not happen in short time periods, so I'm just putting that out there. Oh, okay, right, so we've got the Empress. Immediate future, hidden agendas with the High Priestess. Queen of Coins in externally. Queen of Wands is the challenge, but the Queen of Wands is the external energy. Internally. A lot of information coming forward that they can't keep hold of. I'm going to ask some more specific questions in a moment. Hopes and fears, being forced to retreat, the outcome, plan A not working, moving on to plan B. We've got the King of Coins, and then we've got the Knight of Swords. A harsh truth coming forward. I mean, this is my card for the orange twerp, but it's also my card for Netanyahu. A harsh truth coming forward. What have we got on the bottom there? Legal restriction. 9 of Cups, be careful what you wish for. Queen of Swords, a female prosecutor. 6 of Pentacles, a false victory. And an offer being made in regards to the steel. We've got women celebrating, but we've also got betrayal and treason and contracts and agreements. I'm going to have to ask a different question because it's not, I've asked the question wrong, so it's not giving me a clear answer, because it can go, that answer can be resolved either way. Is Karim Khan guilty of what he is being accused of? Is Karim Khan guilty? Sexual misconduct. Is he guilty? Show me. I'll just do 3 cards. Well, 3, 2, 1. Is he guilty of what he is being accused of? Is he guilty of what he is doing? The sexual misconduct. Knight of Coins. Mercenary. Page of Wands. Information being brought forward. 2 of Wands, a plan. I don't think he is. I hate to say it. I think this is a plan to undermine him. King of Coins, my Netanyahu card, the Emperor, the Dictator, my way or the highway, and then the Ace of Cups, an emotional partnership, some sort of agreement, and then loss and disappointment, and the Hanged Man. Honestly, I don't think he is, but he may find himself suspended for it. I mean, because of the emotional statements here. Just seeing what's on the bottom there. Got the Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups. So the Queen trying to keep a lid on it, keeping things hidden. The Knight of Cups, the false Knight, bringing forward the offer. And then we've got victory, and we've got females. We've got the Strength card with the females. I don't think he is. I think what's happened is it's potentially, and I hate to say this, I think it's potentially paid for testimony, but I still think it's not going to end well for him. I think he's still going to have to step down from his position at the ICC. Were these women paid for to make these were these women paid to make these accusations? Were these women paid? Just this reading's it's a horrible reading. I do apologize. Ace of Swords, it's a yes card. Nightmare situation. About four of Wands. Relationships. I mean, it could be they're bringing the truth forward about a nightmare situation with these relationships. Let's see where it goes. Financially finding themselves out in the cold. Page of Wands bringing forward this message, and then moving this forward with the truth. And then we've got the Strength card, the Victory card, and different order. Moving forward, the Strength card with this victory, but emotional disappointment, and Ace of Coins, and then keeping quiet about it. And there's Netanyahu again. I'm not saying that there is no basis for these accusations, because these women could very well be bringing forward this information of this situation. It really feels like that they've been. Is this court case a setup to try and exonerate Netanyahu or undermine the criminal charges case? Is this set up to undermine the Netanyahu criminal case at the ICC? Not saying he didn't do anything, Khan didn't do anything improper. Not denying that at all. Not denying that the women are, gosh, it's a nightmare situation because there's this hidden agenda here being put together by Russian energies with the Empress. Can also mean the female, but there's just, it's bringing forward information about Khan with that Ace of Wands and the Chief Prosecutor. Then we've got 2 2s, the 2 of Pentacles, money changing hands, the 2 of Wands, a plan, and then we've got the Judgment card, bringing forward judgment. And then we've got 6 of Swords, moving this case forward, but we've also got the false victory card. Yeah, just this. Not saying that he didn't act inappropriately, but there's just something not right about this case. Is Netanyahu behind, or anyone associated with, oh, I'm getting his wife Sarah. Okay. I got his wife Sarah. Oops. And these cards flew out. Sabotage, abuse of power, betrayal, lies, deceit, messaging coming forward, and money changing hands. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. This is just before I dig myself in any deeper. I'm not saying there's nothing behind the accusations. As in Khan very well may have. I don't disbelieve the women, but there's more to it than the women just simply coming forward and bringing this forward. It feels like, and what the cards are implying is there was a financial incentive behind it. And I'm just going to leave that there before I dig myself any deeper. Okay, catch you shortly. Bye-bye.